What's up? Welcome to a Frazzlog. Yeah, man. Welcome to the Ford Fusion edition of the Frazzlog. We are driving home at a steady 0 miles per hour because we haven't moved yet. Yeah. I like it. I'm leaving work on time. I'm leaving work completed. I can now go home and not be bothered by the ghosts of tomorrow. The sins of the father, if you will. We're just fucking loving life, dude. Loving life. Loving corporations. Loving work at corporations. I'm basically, I like to think of myself as like the Shinji Ikari of the corporations of the United States of America. Having a nice little crisis. I love crises. Crisis. Oh my god. Yeah, so I'm not complaining about work tonight. I'm not complaining about that bullshit. There's nothing to complain about other than we got it done. So nothing to complain about on the work front. Other than that, same shit. I've been playing through Birthright. That game is fucking ridiculously easy. If you are playing through Birthright, let me tell you what you got in store for Conquest. Conquest is gonna step on your testicles, and then they're gonna jump. They're gonna jump up and down. The level gap, I guess the skill gap between Birthright and Conquest is like, it's like playing Call of Duty on like Rookie or was it what's the lowest difficulty in Call of Duty? Is it just easy mode? Alright, well, it's like playing Call of Duty on the easiest difficulty and then going up to veteran, and then you are like not prepared at all. It's like you have to relearn how, it's like playing a different game basically. You have to learn how the mechanics work on the harder difficulty. The only difference between like Fire Emblem and Call of Duty is a game where you don't level up and have to worry about messing up your character builds. Because if you blow up your character builds in Fire Emblem, like let's say you're using like this, like using a couple of the same units, but for the most part you're switching out units, you could get to a point where you've pretty much ruined your characters by simply leveling, like let's say for some dumb reason you sold all of your spears, and some of your characters were good at spears. Well, now all they can do is use their secondary weapons. Or another good example is if you don't level up units, like basically the way I play Fire Emblem is I always have prime units and I have like secondary units. I try to keep my secondary units leveling at a good pace, but for the most part I try to make sure I at least level up like five big guys. For my Nor campaign in Conquest, I had main character, I had Jacob the butler, I had Camilla the sister, I had Elise the sister, I had Xander the brother, Leo the brother, and then honestly those 6 units right there were basically my main force. My other guys they were severely underleveled, but they were underleveled enough to the point where like I would only send them into battle if I knew that I could save them the next turn pretty much. That's how like difficult it starts to get, which really sucks because it's, to me it felt like I didn't level my characters like at a good pace or whatever. So are you really gonna try to fucking pass me, you dumb fucking truck? Get back in line, you fucking asshole. That's right. I own the street. You're a Ford, but I'm a bigger Ford, and I'm actually a smaller Ford. You're a truck. But no. So Fire Emblem, man, just the level gap is insane. Yeah. We're 4 minutes in this bad boy. I guess we'll talk about what I was originally thinking of talking about, which was gaming stories. Let's talk about, because I said the other day for Oblivion I was going to talk about more like my experiences with Oblivion, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and I never really came back with that. So some of my, I guess we can start with the beginning of Oblivion, just because That's the best place to start anything, is the beginning. So 2006, I get my 360, and I think it was April, and was it April? It might have been February. I think it was February, because I think it was right before the game came out. I got my 360, and I'm still playing Xbox One game, or Xbox original games, like religiously. I'm still playing Splinter Cell. I'm still playing Halo 2. I'm still playing Battlefield 2. I'm loving it, man. I'm addicted. And so I got my 360, and I was still playing those games on my 360, and I was just like, well, there's a lot of good 360 games, and I pretty much played them all. So there was like, it's so weird to think back then there was like a dry spell pretty much with next gen games. They weren't coming out very fast. You know, you'd maybe get like 2 or 3 like a month, it felt like. All the other games were so irrelevant, you didn't really want to play them. But like the like decent looking games, you'd maybe get a couple a month, if that. So when Oblivion came out, I remember I was playing Guns. It's a free to play shooter on computer. I think it's made by a Korean game design studio. It's called Guns, G-U-N. I think it was a Z. It's either a Z or O as an S. I can't remember, but it was this third-person action game where it's a very stylistic. The best way I can put it is kind of like I'd say kind of like a Gears of War, just third person. You've got guns, you've got grenades, you've got swords, you've got like katanas, you got daggers. It's just a really fast-paced. It's sort of like a platformer. It's like a platformer action game shooter. It's a weird hybrid, but that was like a really fun game to play at the time. So I was playing through that, and I can't remember what exactly happened, but for some reason, maybe it was because Oblivion had came out, but we went to the store to get 2 games. We got Oblivion Collector's Edition, and we got Kingdom Hearts 2, and those were like 2 of the newest, hottest games at the time. I think Kingdom Hearts actually came out around Christmas, but it was like we waited to get it or something. Those were weird days for me because I was always in and out of like phases. Like I was so in love with Kingdom Hearts 1 back when it came out on PS2 that like that must have been like 2002-ish when that came out. So this was 4 years later. Yeah, it was a little over 4 years later. I completely didn't even, I forgot about my love for that series. So when I played through the second game, I fell in love with it all over again. But this is about Oblivion. So Oblivion, we got that too. I didn't really know much about it other than seeing a couple of trailers at GameStop and seeing some promo material on Xbox, like on the dashboard and in magazines. And I kept seeing these pictures of these like the Iliad ruins and different like I think it was either elven armor or it was like I'm trying to remember what the gold armor set was. It's not Dwemer, it was, I can't remember. It was one of the gold armor sets. Maybe it was Orcish or Ebony. I think it was Ebony armor. And I loved it. I was just like, wow, this game looks so beautiful. Like I remember seeing the tech demo. I bet this is back when GameStop actually played like relevant game videos. Like they had an interview and like a play test with like an early build of Oblivion. And I remember they were like doing a dungeon raid or something. They went to an Iliad ruin and they were like showing different like mechanics off in the game, and the game looked so beautiful. And I was interested, but I wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm getting that day one or anything. But sure enough, day one came around and we ended up going and buying it. And I never even looked at the bonus discs or anything, so like I kind of missed out on all that shit. Like it came with a really cool case, came with a poster, it came with like a coin or something, like the in-game currency coins, septums I think they're called. So I was like, yes, I finally got this game. And at the time, every week we would alternate. I'd go to my mom's, my brother would come to my dad's, and then next week I'd go to my mom's, and my brother would come back here, and we'd alternate every week. And so basically, I'd have Oblivion at my dad's, and then I'd have Kingdom Hearts 2 at my mom's. And I just remember I was so in love with Oblivion that I'd never wanted to like let go of it. But that allowed me to play the game at a much slower pace, so I kind of enjoyed it a lot more. It made the traveling a lot more like meaningful to me. So like, you do the dungeon in the beginning of the game, and then I think I think that was like the last night at my dad's for that week. So like I didn't play anymore until like a week later, and then I came back, and this is like right after you get out of the sewer, and I was like, all right, time to go. And I just remember looking around, like you're next to the water, and I was like, holy shit, there's a lot to do. Like I'm looking at my map. This map is humongous, and I'm like, okay, I don't remember any of the tutorial. So I'm like, okay, let me look at my map. Okay, I see some quest markers, and I'm like trying to decide like where to go with my quest. And I just remember doing like the whole Martin, what's his name, Martin Septum or whatever, the monk or whatever. He's like a religious monk or whatever, who's supposed to be the heir to the throne or whatever. You have to go find him, and you end up going and traveling to, was it Kavach is the first city that gets blown up during the Oblivion raids. Like, I just remember exploring all of those early cities in the game, and just, I was like in awe of like what that generation was going to be. Like I thought every game was going to be like that, insanely deep and detailed, and it was a beautiful game. I think the first quest line I completed though, sadly, was the arena, just because you could beat the arena in pretty much, I think if you don't do the vampire quest where you like you go and try to track down the guy in the cave or whatever, I think you can probably beat the arena in an hour, I'd say. I just remember sitting there blowing through the arena, and I felt like a powerhouse because I was like the champion of Cyrodiil or whatever they call you. And I just remember every time you go out into the arena, it just like you felt like a legit like king. You were like, all right, who am I fighting today? You'd go up there and they're like, you're not fighting one, but you're fighting two brothers or whatever. And Shimmer Strike, I think it was the name of an ice dagger that he has. I remember a lot of weird things about that game, and I don't know. I'm always gonna remember him probably. I just really like that game a lot. I haven't played it since probably 2010, 2011. I started doing a achievement guide series on YouTube for it, over on one of my side channels, and I got a lot of positive like reception with those videos. I basically just run you through all of the story quests, because that's how you get all the achievements. You beat the story, you beat all the guilds. So I had played through all of the Fighters Guild, I played through all of the Mages Guild, I played through all of the main story and the arena, and it was just like a really cool, fun time. And that's one of those playthroughs that takes a long time, so I don't know if I'll ever get back to it. But, you know, it's cool that there's some videos out there still to help people. Alright, I'm gonna go sleep. Goodbye.